Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are checking out ReZero, episode number 15. Today happens to be April 1st, so I'm just kind of hoping at this point that everything we saw at the end of the last episode was just a huge elaborate April Fool's prank. I'm sure it is. That's all I got going for me. Let's just keep our fingers crossed and hope that we're gonna get some sort of, nope, that didn't happen. The past 3 episodes did not actually happen. Maybe we'll get a reset and it's kind of fixing things, but yeah, I really don't know what's going to happen this episode. I'm scared for Subaru to enter the mansion. I know that we need to do it because otherwise we're never going to find out what happened. But yeah, ReZero episode 15. Whew, yeah, I don't know. Last episode was crazy and I'm not ready to I'm not ready to advance, but we gotta do it. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below with something cool or interesting, and be sure to share this with a friend or anyone who might enjoy ReZero reaction content. And yeah, feel free to check out another video. I've got other series that I'm doing reactions for right now, and yeah, I'm just gonna dive right into this. So here we go, episode 15, ReZero. Alright, no point in wasting any time. Let's just do this. Okay, oh my god. It looks so much more brutal from an angle like this. I can't imagine how Subaru feels right now. Like, does he feel guilt? Does he feel, like, how would you feel right now seeing all of this? She obviously put up a huge, great fight. Who's in the cabin? Who is it? Oh my god. Oh, it's the kids. Oh my god, yeah. Jeez. She died protecting the kids. How do you... Oh my god, I'm not ready. Like, were the kids still healing? Is that why they were at the mansion? That's what I'm wondering. But, like, that's awful. Another one of the kids. Oh my god. Bleeding out of her eyes? What did this? Like, what? Like, I don't think this was Roswaal. I know that was a bullshit theory I threw around last time, but he would not kill Ram or Emilia. A secret room? Is this like blacklight? Like, what is this? It's chilling. Like, it's literally cold. Did Roswaal hole up Emilia in here? Beatrice? Holy shit. They were frozen in place. We're freezing too? You're too late? Okay, well, we get a reset. We're in front of Abigail! Holy shit! Oh my god, we're back. What was that? No. We only went back to right before. Oh, no. We've got no time. There's no time for anything. They're already in danger right this second. Probably. Oh. That's such a sweet response though. Like, just the wanting to know that everything's okay. He's out of it, he's completely delirious. Emotional scars, absolutely. That's awful. Thank you. But what is that? Is that the witch's stink? Miasma? So we've completed our gate healing. Hopefully. Ram, you're the sweetest bean. You're so good. Yeah. I get it. Unlike, yeah. Because we like him. We're friends. He saved us and opened our eyes. It's what you should say. I thought she was going to say because I want to again. And I was like, wow, I love that Ram's whole thing is doing things that I want to. Thank you, we're going to need that good luck because I have no idea what's coming. Were we? Yeah, we were reset to when we went to the village and saw the posters and everything, right? Like, it was the same day. Aww. Don't worry, Rem, we're never going to leave you behind. Yes, he is. He is demonically possessed. I love this relationship now between Rem and Subaru. It is so, not to use a word she's been using, but it's so special. It's very real, and you can feel how deep those feelings of, oh shit. Are we going to see the white whale? Is it the white whale? Oh my god, but why did it kill the land dragon? Are we snapped out of... Oh my god, they're back. What is their deal? Who are they? With the pale white hands? Okay, Rem, let's go. Okay, the horn is not gone, at least. Holy shit. Okay, that's not enough, right? Witch cultists. Okay. Holy shit. So if they're witch cultists, them bowing to him in the previous episode is really messing with my head. Ram. My reason to die? Holy shit. What is happening right now? This series has turned into something else entirely. Pride? Are we one of the witches of envy? Or not envy, but one of the 7 sinned witches? Yeah, who are you and what's your deal? Are you the witch of envy? Surely not, no. Sin Archbishop. Betelgeuse? Jeez, did not like that. What is happening? Oh, I feel like I've been stun locked in place. I don't know what is happening. This guy is nuts. Did he just hit that Polnareff pose? The day of the ordeal? Oh my god. Okay, that's good. That's we'll take an unknown. We will take unknown. You're truly slothful? What is happening? Like... This guy is insane! Love. Nope, we're not a religious person. We're Subaru. Piss off with that shit. No. Pretend? Are we pretending? No. I don't think we are. You're the one that's crazed. It is an insult to real madness. I don't think you understand us. Oh my god. Yeah, just let us reset again. Like, what do we even do right now? This is awful. You're truly slothful. Ram? Please? Holy shit. She's goated. Holy shit, she's here. Oh, Subaru, you gotta wake up and do something. Oh. The OST! Oh. Holy shit! Holy shit! Subaru, do something. The thing she's doing for you right now? No. Oh. No. We're not doing this. By doing nothing, you practice sloth. Oh my god, jeez. This is like that one trap in Saw 3? What the hell is this? Oh my god. He's just puppeteering her. Holy shit. He's... Jeez. Oh, Subaru's crazed. Oh, I don't want to know what Subaru's gonna pull out of his bag of tricks. If he even has anything. The other fingers? Oh my god. Oh, what is happening? Like, it's I can't even ask what is happening. What happened? Jeez. I'm speechless. I am truly speechless. I don't know what we can even do right now. What is that noise? She's alive? Like, really? Is Subaru imagining this? Is this real? Is she actually about to die? Like, for real? Oh my god. I thought I'd be starting this episode and we'd start fixing things, but somehow things are even worse. I feel like Subaru is probably more broken now. Snow? Oh my god. Oh, it's ash. It's not snow at all, of course. I should have known. The way we're just walking right through, we're not even looking. Is it snow? Still, we're too late. This time Ram died protecting the children. Is that Puck? Holy shit, is that Puck? Wait, what? My daughter? What? That was Puck, right? That is Puck. What do you mean, my daughter? Emilia? Is Puck the Witch of Envy? Is Puck the Witch of Envy and is Emilia your daughter? Oh my god, my mind is just racing. Holy shit. Yeah, these credits right now are so deserved. I feel like I'm really emotional right now. I'm like really just... Oh... That was the most insane 3 minutes of anime I have watched on this channel. Easily, hands down. That was insanity. For the record, I'm only guessing that's Puck because there was a comment in like episode 2 where Subaru was like, oh, Puck, you can get bigger. And Puck's like, yeah, I can get bigger. That's my guess. Oh shit, okay, I was about to click out, but we're back. But like, oh my god. Abigail, please, just don't ruin this. Yeah. The willpower of Subaru to come back from that right now and just put a smile on his face to put Rem at ease. Yeah. The outside of madness, and it's that green color. Wait, I need to pause it before I say anything. It's that green color of Betelgeuse's hair. That episode was... Jeez, I don't have words. I really don't have words. It's going to take me some time to compile my thoughts and just talk about this episode because I have never experienced anything like that, especially not in my time of doing reaction content. So yeah, I'm just gonna need a bit, just like episode 14, I'm gonna need a bit to think. Yeah, I fear I'm still kind of like just in shock. I don't really know how to start this, I guess. Like, normally, you know, I'm coming in hot. I've got all these things that I want to say. I want to just, you know, word vomit all over the post-episode talk. But, like, where do you start with an episode like this? Where do you start with the content that we saw in this episode? It was abhorrent. It was awful. It was, like, just the content within the episode was from an entertainment and viewing, experience perspective, like in terms of presenting, a series for someone to watch. It was incredible. This is by far and away the best episode of this season series that I have seen. Easily. Maybe the best episode of an anime that I have watched on the channel. I'm not going to sit here and compare episodes and stuff from other series. This really just took everything. It took a winning formula for this series and just added layers. And that's what I love about this series. The series has layers that build upon themselves, and it's just continuing to make it fulfilling and rewarding as someone following along, learning more about the series. I came into this episode saying like, oh, I hope that it was all a prank and we're gonna get back to things and things are gonna be all right, because I don't mean this in a negative way, but it's almost like the show has conditioned me in a sense that when things go wrong, I know we're gonna reset, and I know that things are gonna eventually pan out in a positive way. But I cannot see a way forward where people don't die here. This is truly like, we are in the worst possible position that we could be in. We are so far away, we cannot make it to the mansion in time. We have no way of warning anyone. Just like, what can we do to fix things? The show, like I said, it conditioned me to think in a way that Subaru's eventually always going to be able to make things right. But then what do we do in a situation where we can't? What comes about? What happens? Is Subaru going to spend this time now staying at home? Well, not at home, but staying within the crush manor and stuff. Eventually then seeing if anything happens. Maybe him staying is going to affect what happens later. Like, what happens? What do we do? White Fox knew they were cooking with this episode, right? This episode felt like a huge turning point and a huge culmination of so many different factors just kind of sprinkling and just exploding within one episode. We got answers, we got more questions. The episode starts. Yeah, like, okay, sorry, I'm all over the place, but we're gonna go back to the literal beginning. So it's been a few episodes now. Well, actually, no, it hasn't been a few episodes. We got an opening, I think, in the last episode, but the openings have been pretty sparse. We haven't really been getting openings that much, which is fine. They're spending time putting content into the episodes rather than using up a minute and a half for the opening. And I'm totally fine with that, especially in the sense of if I was to watch the director's cut, where there would be one opening for essentially 2 episodes. And this episode really felt like a kind of like sorry, it's just really hard to like put words into words. It's really hard to put thoughts into words right now because my mind is just racing all these other thoughts. But I think that this is the best example so far of how it feels like a literal just direct continuation. And it feels like I could have watched the director's cut here and got the full, essentially, movie content, double episode length here, because it ends in such a way in the previous episode and picks up immediately in this one without dropping a beat, right? There's no wasting time. There's nothing. It just immediately picks off. Within the first 30 seconds, we find out that the kids are all dead. The kids from the village, they're all dead, and Rem died protecting them. Like, that's within the first 30 seconds of this episode. That is insane. All these dead kids that we grew to love, and they were just so joyful and happy, and then we see that they're dead. It's grim, like, to kill these poor innocent children in such a vicious manner. It's so unbelievably grim. It's hard to think of how anyone or anything would be capable of doing such a thing. And I didn't voice it while I was while I was watching the episode, but my thought did go then to a point where I was like, well, these have to be actual humans. They can't be witch fiends or anything like that because they're able to cross the barrier, unless the barrier has once again been broken. I don't think it has, so I feel like it would have drawn attention to that at some point within these episodes. The barrier has not been broken, and so these awful beings, they are humans or something that isn't at least a witch fiend. And we do grow to learn then very soon after, well, actually it's a little bit later, it's when they're on their way back again after the first reset, that these are witch cultists. It's really burning me right now that I can almost swear the name or the word, like the words witch cultist, have been brought up before. It might have been Beatrice in one of their conversations. I can't exactly recall when witch cultists were mentioned before and what the context was. And that's really bothering me because I like to be on top of everything. So, you know, if you guys could please share that in the comments below, if it has been mentioned before, if they have been mentioned before or not, because I cannot recall. And if they haven't been mentioned before, you know, cool. Like, we're learning new information. We're learning who they are. And that's great because I have been asking this whole time who they are, what their deal is, what's their angle. We kind of get more into that within this episode. Going back though to the start of the episode, Subaru works his way through the mansion very, very slowly. He is broken. He is a shell of himself at this point. And it's really hard to watch because it's reminding me of, I think it was episode 7, where he stays in bed the whole time after finding out that it was Rem that killed him because he is broken. He's a mess and he cannot believe it. And this is reminding me of that because I thought, from my understanding of Subaru, this sounds kind of ridiculous, but I thought that that moment, in my head anyway, that moment when he was broken before was kind of his last real insane breaking point. I thought that nothing would really break him again because he realized that moment, or he realized after that moment, what he would need to do, especially when he makes that realization with Ram and jumps off the cliff. You know, he kind of has this realization of like being down and all this here, it really doesn't do anything. And Krush also comments on that in the previous episode, in episode 14, where she's like, keep your head up. So that's why I was very surprised. Well, no, like, okay, well, I'm getting ahead of myself, but I was very surprised at how broken he was after this day. Like, don't get me wrong, I get it. Any normal human being would be the exact same way after experiencing what Subaru experienced. It was just really hard to watch because of the way the series has made me think that things go. It was hard to see Subaru back in that kind of state again because we're used to seeing him experience the most awful, horrendous shit possible, and then the next day bounce back like nothing happened and be the happiest person, try to bring up the spirits of everyone around him, even though he is the one with the most broken spirit. He's the one that is so unbelievably broken, but he's having to pick everyone else up and cheer everyone else up and be the soul and the life of the party and the good vibes and just everything. It's just so unbelievably hard to watch Subaru be like that, but the kind of character Subaru is, we are used to that. And it's really hard, and it's just strange with that knowledge. Like, how can someone do that? He's so unbelievably strong that he can do that. And so seeing him again broken, just, it broke me because he is rarely like this despite everything. Like I said, my thoughts are all over the place, so I'm kind of just jumping all over the place in this post-hoc analysis. I do deeply apologize. I am not saying that it's strange seeing Subaru broken. I'm saying it hurts more seeing a character like Subaru broken because of his personality and the way he normally is. That's what I'm trying to say. And I feel like I did a really bad job at voicing that. Moving on then, we see that Subaru finds Ram dead up against the doorway. Right next to her, who she's holding, is Petra, another of the children. I guess she died protecting the child. Petra was maybe being healed at the time within the manor by Ram because Ram and Beatrice are able to do that. It's so cruel. Like, it's just so awful that Subaru has to experience this. We see then that hairpins are on the floor. We see Emilia's as well. at a point a secret doorway. And I feel like this secret doorway, this secret passage, is going to be something that we should be remembering for the next time we're in this mansion. I feel like this secret doorway is going to be maybe a crucial piece of information for Subaru. I have no proof of that, obviously, but they showed us this, and I feel like there has to be a reason for it. And when Subaru approaches the doorway, he sees that the corridor looks crazy. It looked very like someone was holding a blacklight up against it, and it just had this really strange look to it. I wonder if that's how the hallway normally looks, or if it's because of the whole like iciness and the fact that the heat has been completely removed from this hallway. And we see a bunch of frozen enemies, and when Subaru touches the door, his fingers are cut off because of the coldness. And then we see that they've all frozen and Subaru starts to freeze. And as a viewer, that's obviously awful. You know, Subaru's been put through so much and now he's going to freeze to death. That's awful. Like, I hate that so much. But also there's a part of me that's relieved. And it's so hard to explain that, because I hate that I feel relief at watching him die in a horrific manner. And it happens so often in this series. But then we hear a voice, "You're too late." And in my head, I'm like, who the hell is that, right? Is that who, like, one of the villains or whatever? But now I'm thinking, was that Puck? Was that Puck saying "you're too late"? I don't know. It's hard to kind of figure that out, because, you know, we're not really given anything. But then Subaru wakes up immediately in front of Apigai, and on one hand I'm like, haha, I called that this would probably happen, you know, in front of Apigai again, our eternal checkpoint system. But on the other hand, I kind of wish we went further back. We still went through all that really tough stuff with Emilia, like that all still happened, and we are just barely, we have like no time. Like, this is just barely before we inevitably leave. Technically, if they leave today, they can get there earlier, blah 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 blah. But we did see then what happened when they leave a day earlier. But Subaru, he falls to his knees and he starts hugging Rem. And he, at this point, is just completely broken. He is delirious. He is just staring. His eyes are wide. He's got a crazed look in his face, and he very clearly like isn't sleeping, because under his eyes they're all like, you know, black, you know, like he hasn't slept. And so Krush and Ferris say, yeah, we cannot heal emotional scars. This is far beyond our control. All we can do is have Ferris heal his gate. And so they have to try and figure out another means of healing these emotional scars that Subaru is experiencing. And nobody thinks of it as anything like super crazy or anything, because nobody knows what Subaru goes through. Nobody knows what he experiences. So they are probably just assuming that this is all related to Emilia and how he feels and the fact that he has been left behind. They probably just think it's something like that. But Rem notices the witch's miasma is seeping out of him. You know, it's like this toxin that is just seeping out of him. It's so potent right now. He's just lying there. He's broken, and she's sensing this. So Rem and Subaru leave to return to the mansion, with Rem having the idea that maybe seeing Emilia and potentially even Ram can snap him out of this, because she's realized that nothing she can do will help him right now. And so in this instance, it's Rem's decision to go back to the mansion. In a sense, like, yes, I know I've been giving Subaru some shit about the mistakes and the choices he's been making, but in a sense, this time it wasn't his choice. In all honesty, this is the right thing to do, because what can Rem do right now? He is not himself, and she knows that, and she knows that the only way to potentially help him is to travel back. And so I feel like a little bit hypocritical being like, oh well, his decision, bad decision, Rem decision, good decision. They both kind of made similar decisions, but in this instance, it wasn't Subaru going against Emilia's wishes, it wasn't going against a contract, and, you know, it wasn't him being selfish. So I guess that's why I'm foregoing that condemning Rem for this decision thing. It's hard to explain why, you know, I'm okay with this decision, whereas I wasn't okay with Subaru's. Rem Krush and Ferris have this really sweet talk about Rem's feelings for Subaru, and Rem obviously has very deep, intense feelings for Subaru. She thinks he's very special, and basically he is the one who saved her life in a sense. Like, she was a broken person living out her days until Subaru opened her eyes to the possibilities of living a life for herself, and not in an attempt to make up for things that happened when she was a child. We see Subaru fall asleep on Rem's lap, which is very sweet because we know how much that means to him, and it's just almost, it's a strange like thing that's almost like a way for Subaru to be most at peace. And I wonder if there's some deep rooted, like, I know I'm completely leaving the series right now, and this is probably a dumb, ridiculous comment, but I wonder if there's some like deep rooted issues that Subaru has in the real world with maybe his mother or something, where he didn't receive that love and affection. And so this whole concept of resting on someone's lap is just the most comforting and special thing in his mind, what he perceives that to be. But I don't think that's the case. I'm just throwing, wacky, dumb theories out there. But you can see how at peace he is when he does rest on her lap. And it's really nice to see that he's able to finally sleep, because he has been unable to sleep for what we understand this whole time. Rem, talking to Subaru while he's sleeping. It's a very adorable scene where she's like, "You're always demonically possessed, and I love that about you, and you're so special, and I wish that I had more time with you by myself." But sadly, that's not the way things are. It's so cute, it's so adorable, and Rem is the sweetest being in this whole kingdom, and that's what makes it more difficult and cruel and just awful the more we see as what happens. And Rem realizes herself, she's like, it's too quiet. And then she senses Ram. She senses her sister. And it's this really intense scene where she has this realization that Ram is not okay and that something is happening. Right as that happens, the witch cultists sadly take down the land dragon, which sends Subaru flying, which kind of snaps him out of it a little bit, just enough to look up and, say Rem's name. Rem starts fighting. She is an absolute beast. I love watching Rem fight. She's such an animal. She will do literally anything she can to protect those she cares about. And it's so also just nice to see her fight for Subaru now, whereas before, like, we just sadly saw her killing Subaru. Rem saying, "You took my sister's horn and now you're here to take my reason to die." Like, holy shit, like, lines that go hard. Like, she is an absolute beast. Like, I love Rem so much. But then we get to, like, probably the juiciest meat of this episode, and this is, like, I'm going to have to rewatch this in my own time, this section in this cave area, because there was so much in this that I was not able to digest everything, because 1, I was appalled. 2, I was stun locked, and 3, my senses, I was getting like overloaded. It was so intense that I know I missed some dialogue here, and so I do plan to rewatch this episode, or at least this section anyway, before I watch episode 16, because I don't want to miss anything. I don't want to forget anything. I don't want to leave anything unseen. This scene, this whole long scene, we are introduced to a Sin Archbishop in the witch cult. Doesn't say the Sin Archbishop, a Sin Archbishop. I was kind of confused. I was like, are you the Witch of Sloth? But there must be an Archbishop for each sin, right? As well as the witches. This is not a witch. I would feel comfortable locking that in. This is one of 7 Sin Archbishops. This is the Sin Archbishop of Sloth. There's a Sin Archbishop of Envy, a Sin Archbishop of Lust, and a Sin Archbishop of all the other different sins. And so that's why I think he asks Subaru if you are Pride. I think it's Pride, right? Betelgeuse. I'm not sure the correct pronunciation. Please do correct me, because I don't want to just be calling him Betelgeuse. Unless that is actually how to pronounce it properly. Romani-Conti. I'm making that assumption once again. Asks Subaru you wouldn't happen to be Pride, would you? And so that's what's making me think that this is Betelgeuse asking Subaru if he's the sin cardinal of Pride. And it would be really interesting if that was to be the case, because we see Betelgeuse do some really crazy shit without really having to try. Like that whole hand thing and then twisting Ram, that's something he was just able to do without really trying. So if that would make Subaru the Sin Archbishop of Pride, what is he capable of? And that's not me saying I want to see Subaru be the most overpowered character in the series, anything like that. I'm not trying to bring that aspect of things into this, because right now I really do love the uniqueness of ReZero, with Subaru being just a normal guy who's wrapped up in all this crazy shit that is so above him, so beyond him, that he is not able to at any point keep up with it. I would absolutely love it if Subaru was able to fight back, but I think that one of the most interesting aspects of the series, at least right now, is that Subaru, he is not that he is nothing, but he cannot do anything. I'd love to see or learn more when it comes to that, if he is actually this Sin Archbishop of Pride. I don't think he'd be a Witch of Pride. I don't think that's what he was being asked, because if he was to be the Witch of Pride, like, I don't understand what that means. Does that mean that the different witches, when they died, they were reborn in other bodies? Kind of like being the witch of something, is that a trait that must exist within this world? And if the person who was that sin dies, the witch of that sin dies, a new child is born with it, you know, kind of like with Chainsaw Man, like that sort of thing happens, right? Or, you know, another huge series that I will not name because that is a pretty huge spoiler within that series, but if you know, you know. Betelgeuse is an absolute madman. He is so crazy, like insane and just intense. He's very, very intense. He raises his voice and shouts and has all these mannerisms, and he's very flamboyant, he's very theatrical. But at the same time, he's very terrifying. I can sense that he is terrifying immediately. Not even just the fact that he has captured us and that we are being held here, but he just has this real sense around him that's like, it's scary. Like, yeah, it's a lot to kind of digest within this scene with Betelgeuse and everything. I talk about the day of the ordeal, which I assume is today because, you know, they're doing a lot of crazy shit today. I didn't understand what the ordeal was. Like, are they going to kill Amelia? What is their purpose for killing Amelia? Are they simply there to capture Amelia? All these questions that I don't obviously have an answer for, but I will talk a little bit later about what I think that day of the ordeal is, when I get to that point where I want to talk about it. And then Betelgeuse is like, you're slothful, you don't know if the girl's alive or dead. And in that moment, it fills us full of positive emotions, hope, everything, because Rem is not confirmed dead. And yeah, just it's so great to like have that knowledge, because we don't want Ren to be harmed. We don't want her to be dead. We don't want her to be hurt. He's got all these, like, I don't even know how to describe it, but Betelgeuse is the most unhinged character that we have seen in this series, easily. I don't know how to describe how he is, but it is so unhinged and so insane. He basically starts smacking Subaru around and being like, hey, stop acting like you're broken. You're not. Like, what reason have you to be broken? Not, you haven't even experienced anything. Stop being broken. Come back, hello. And yeah, then he's like, you're an insult to real madness. And then he starts doing the splits and shit. And yeah, he is a madman for sure. Like, there's no doubting it whatsoever. But then Subaru, you know, he starts screaming, crying, and it's almost like in that moment he has the snap realization that my mind is just broken right now, but it's almost like something got through, and it's hard to watch. It's so hard to watch Subaru in this situation right now. And then Subaru himself is called slothful, and that is something that I will talk about again very soon. But when Rem shows up, the animation gets insane. Like the animation for Rem fighting, the animation for the fighting in general, and like I also have to say the facial animation for Betelgeuse is incredible. It's so good, but I hate it because I don't like this guy. Well, I don't hate it. But it's just like why Fox has done such an amazing job at just making this guy the most unhinged guy possible while also giving him the most unhinged expressions and everything. And the way they did that by really just going above and beyond in the animation department was so clean. Like it was great. And then a part that really confuses me is when Rem says, in my absent master's stead, I, Rem, will carry out your death penalty. Where's Roswaal? Why is he not here? He left with Amelia, did he not? Like, where is Roswaal? Why is he not doing anything? I don't understand what's happening with him there. Rem's fighting, it's absolutely insane. I love just watching her fight. It's such a joy. And it's animated better than ever before here. And then we get this really, really awful scene of Subaru watching Rem, and he sees her fighting, and it's through this cloud of red, you know, like the blood dripping over his eye. He's just watching then as she notices that he's watching her, and she smiles and says something. We don't know what she says, but one can only assume that she says something along the lines of, I love you. And that's what makes it even more heartbreaking what happens immediately after. Betelgeuse says, my brain trembles. I think that's what he says. Rem, who's going through the air, like, you know, fighting, is puppeteered, and she's just like frozen in place. We learn from Betelgeuse that she's dead in that instant, or that she will die. Blood is dripping down from her eyes, and it's very much like what we saw with Petra when we saw them in the mansion at the beginning of this episode. And Betelgeuse says unseen hand, which I imagine is the name of some sort of special power or move that he does. He says a really, really powerful line that I think this is going to stick with Subaru and be something that really just rings true with him going forward, where he says, by doing nothing, you practice sloth. You killed her. You killed her by practicing sloth and by doing nothing. And then we get this really just awful, awful scene of her body being mangled. And it reminds me of a trap from Saw 3. If anyone has seen it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And it's just like, it's a really hard scene to watch within this series. And then when Betelgeuse is like posing with her dead body and stuff, like being like this and stuff, it's cruel, it's mean, it's awful. I hate it. This guy, I want to see Subaru do exactly what he says he's going to do. There were expletives on the screen here. I don't know if that's official translation where the expletives are on the screen here, but I do really think that makes the scene even more intense, because Subaru, there's been no expletive, like there's been no F-bombs, anything like that within this series up to this point. And so seeing Subaru screaming like this and screaming what he's screaming, it hits harder. I hate to say it, but it really does just hit harder. And it's just an awful feeling that it makes me feel. But meanwhile, Betelgeuse is just like, oh, you call me by your name, you finally did it, I'm so touched. And it's just like, oh, this guy, right, this guy. And then Betelgeuse is just like, yep, we're gonna leave now, bye. And yeah, it's just like, I don't know, says, for your position in this, I have no idea what it is, so I shall judge you as our Lord sees fit. What does that mean? Like, obviously, he would sense that Subaru smells like the witch, right? That Subaru's purpose is somehow, like, relevant within this world. Like, he is there for a reason, and there's something about him. He's special. But nobody knows what his purpose is. Betelgeuse doesn't know, and he's just like, yeah, I'm going to leave you bound here, and if the gospel finds you, you'll survive, you'll be saved, whatever. And it's so insane that you can pause in so many different frames here, and the art style, like the drawings, the animation, look unlike anything else that have been in this series up to this point. Like, this looks like it's so meticulously crafted, frame by frame, this whole episode, that it's just absolutely, it's a work of art in the worst way possible. The only thing I can compare this to, and I don't think it's a fair comparison because they're both completely different, and I'm not here to compare, is the final episode, I guess, of Berserk 1997. It's all I can think of to compare this to, and, you know, yeah, I think anyone might understand why. And yeah, like, I'm just scrolling through here, and holy shit, like, Beetlejuice's lines here are so insane. Like, he says, yes, you sacrificed yourself for love, defying your own fate, but you fell before your feelings reached him, and your love had nowhere to go. You are truly slothful. Holy shit, like, that is crazy. That is really, really crazy. Like, that is a really great quote right there. But it's just so awful. Like, I hate it. I hate reading it, but it's so, I just don't know. And then we get this really just heartbreaking scene of Rem somehow still alive, willing herself forward towards Subaru. And all she says is live, 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 as she breaks the chains. And then she says, love you. After saying live, 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 she says, love you. It's almost like she dies in that exact moment then. And it's heartbreaking. I know I said it already. It's heartbreaking. And my heart was just shattered watching him carrying Rem towards the village, walking past all the dead bodies again, like, just like it was nothing. Like, he's just trying to get to his destination, and he sees then that all the village has, once again, you know, everyone's dead. It looks the exact same as he saw it before. When he gets to the mansion, Ram is now dead, protecting the kids. It seems to have been for nothing. And Subaru falls to his knees as we see this huge beast burst out of the roof, and you can kind of see a bit of an earring in this huge beast, and it's furry, it's hairy, and so that's why I can only presume this is Puck, because everything about it just screams Puck. The voice sounds Puck-ish, but it just has me wondering then, when Puck looks towards Subaru, and I actually notice now when it shows Subaru, it looks like he's gone icy again, so I wonder if he is being frozen to death yet again in that moment. Puck, I think, says sleep or go to sleep. Yeah, just sleep along with my daughter. And there's two assumptions you can make here. One, and I've also just noticed, I paused on a frame where they say along with my daughter, and Subaru's tears have cracked, so they're frozen. So yes, he has been frozen in this moment, and I never noticed that while I was watching. That's a really nice attention to detail kind of thing right here. So you can make two assumptions here. One, along with my daughter, Ram, but then they would have said daughters, so I don't think that. So the only other two things we can think are Beatrice or Amelia. Beatrice kind of makes sense because Beatrice is so infatuated with Puck. Maybe that's why, but I wouldn't think so, because it seems more of a friendly thing than you're my dead parent sort of thing, because you're a spirit, you're a great spirit. Or it's Amelia's parent, and that to me makes more sense because Amelia is able to use the spirit arts. And I never really clocked onto it, but it's reminding me of the scene in episode 13, I think. Maybe it was 14, but I think it was 13, where Amelia is saying, I can control a great spirit. And everyone's like, oh! So now I'm wondering if the great spirits are the 7 sin witches. And so would that make a witch of, like, I'm trying to think of, like, the kind of traits that Puck has. I just don't know, like, I'm really not able to figure out what that would be. I don't think it would be gluttony. I don't think it would be... it couldn't be envy. I'm ruling out the fact that this is the Witch of Envy. I know that's what I said while I was watching the episode. My brain just went there immediately, but I don't think that's the Witch of Envy. I think that this is another one of the witches that has died, and the spirit lives on through Puck, through Amelia. Could it be Pride? I don't know. Now comes the whole thing about the day of the ordeal. I can't remember how they worded it, but they're either here to kill Amelia because she is a descendant of one of the other witches, or the Witch of Envy, or something like that, or they're here to get Puck because of who Puck is. And right now we don't have answers, just theories, and we're just throwing darts and seeing what lands right now, obviously. But then the scene where Subaru's head falls off and the credits play as the snow falls around him and the OST is playing, it's cinema. Like, what else could you say? It feels like cinema, and it's further proving that White Fox knew they cooked with this episode. It was so incredibly well done, and it was a work of art, a masterpiece, you could say. And then we fade to black as Subaru wakes up. And when Subaru wakes up, he looks very stunned and he looks very like shocked, and he's kind of just like frozen, but he keeps saying Ram. Ram keeps saying yes. He keeps saying Ram. Ram keeps saying yes. You look like you've seen a ghost. And so he takes her hand as he's about to say something to her, and Abigail breaks it up, sadly. So they walk away, and Subaru's got a smile on his face as Ram says, your unpleasant smell has grown stronger. So it's like every time he dies, the smell grows stronger. And I wonder what that means. Like, what will that eventually lead to? I don't know right now, but I'm curious if that will play a part down the line. Subaru's like, you feel safe when you hold my hand, right? And Ram's like, yes. And they're both smiling. And then the episode ends with Subaru looking very determined, staring down the camera. Whatever Subaru is going to do next, he's going to have to figure it out, because I really just sadly don't see a way forward that doesn't have death on the cards for some characters that we know and love. And another huge question I have is, where is Beatrice when all this is happening? We never saw Beatrice once, so I don't know what that's about. I don't know if anyone's going to be able to figure out what's happening here. Subaru is going to remember Betelgeuse. He's going to remember everything he saw, and he is more determined than ever to conquer these resets and get beyond this. And I'm very excited to see that when it happens. But for now, I apologize for this post talk being kind of all over the place and for me just like being so scatterbrained, but this was a really intense episode, an amazing, amazing episode. One of the best episodes I've watched of an anime for sure. And especially within this channel, like no doubt about it. And yeah, I'm just so excited to see where we go now, because we have never seen Subaru like this. And I want to know how he builds on this, because his character building is going to go hard right now. And yeah, his character arc is going to be off the rails. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed, please feel free to leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below, letting me know how you felt when this episode dropped. I'd love to hear. And yeah, that's probably going to do it for me for today. Thank you for watching so much. It means a lot to me. And here's to happier times, right? At times where Subaru isn't being put through the shitter so much. But yeah, for now, I'm going to wrap this one up. I hope that you're able to have a great day today and that you're able to take it easy. I will see you in the next one. Take care.